Across the ages, numerous successful individuals have leveraged the power of spoken words to inspire, motivate, and manifest their visions. From Tony Robbins to captivating thousands.
Did you touch them? Did it feel good? Why?
The audacious convictions of the Wolf of Wall Street.
We're fucking warriors who will not hang up the phone until their client either buys or fucking dies!
The steadfast wisdom of Brian Tracy to the mesmerizing allure of this secret movie. Hello guys, welcome! Today we're going to delve in the world of affirmations. These powerful tools have been utilized by successful individuals for centuries, but do they really work? Are they a fanciful sales speech or a truly effective method for reaching out the goals? Stick around to find more. Let's begin our journey by tracing back the history of affirmations. Affirmation origins can be traced back to the early civilizations. These societies used to chant mantras and prayers as a tool for meditation, personal growth, and healing. For instance, cave paintings and ancient scriptures often reveal instances of chants or repetitive phrases to the precursors of our modern affirmations. Fast forward to ancient Greece, philosophers like Pythagoras believed in the power of spoken words. He considered certain words and phrases can have a healing impact on the human psyche. Then, in the early 20th century, French psychologist Émile Coué popularized the concept of self-suggestions. His famous affirmation, "Every day, in every way, I'm getting better and better." It's still widely popular today. Meanwhile, in Eastern spiritual practices, affirmation used as mantras, a spiritual path for the better self. They were used in meditation to harness individual spiritual energy and manifest their desires. Modern times saw the incorporation of information into psychology and self-help practices. Renowned motivation speakers and authors like Lewis Harry, Tony Robbins, and Dr. Joseph Murphy have propagated the use of affirmations for the self-improvement, healing, and success. And today, affirmations have permeated digital spaces. Social media platforms are rife with daily affirmation posts, and mobile apps are dedicated to providing users with a regular feed of positive, affirming statements. This fascinating journey from ancient mantras to modern-day digital affirmations shows that the power of positive, repetitive statements transcends cultures and philosophies and the time. It has been recognized by humans for centuries as a potent tool for transformations. But here comes one problem: a trauma. Trauma is a subconscious scenario that rules your life beyond neoconscious comments. Let's discuss trauma and how it can lead to self-sabotage. For this, let's borrow an analogy from the renowned psychologist and professor Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson often used old stories to illustrate complex psychological concepts. Imagine, if you will, a dragon lurking into your house. This dragon represents your trauma, your unresolved issues and fears. At first, you might pretend it's not here, that doesn't exist. You might avoid certain rooms or corners, much like we avoid facing our traumas and insecurities. That's a natural way, it's just how we work. Then, dragon growing and causing some chaos. And it feeds on your fear and avoidance, becoming larger, more daunting, and disruptive. And your house starts falling into disarray, just like your life does when unresolved trauma starts to dictate your actions and decisions. The only way to restore order is to confront the dragon, to face your trauma. It's not easy, it's not pleasant, but it's necessary. Similarly, when we let trauma reside unaddressed, it acts like a hidden saboteur, interfering with our efforts to grow and succeed. We may use affirmations like, "I'm worthy in success," "I can achieve my goals," but deep down in the trauma, the dragon contradicts these statements, leading to the self-sabotage. Just like facing the dragon, addressing the healing the trauma, it often requires a professional help. Therapists and counselors can train to guide us in confronting our fears and insecurities to slay our personal dragons. Affirmation, when used alongside with therapy, can be powerful tools to reinforce the healing process, but it cannot replace the real trauma process. And that's not takes days. It might take years of therapy. Let's delve into a real-life example to illustrate how deeply integrated beliefs and traumas can try to contradict our affirmations. Imagine a man named John. Growing up, John's family was wealthy. His father, a successful businessman, ensured they lived in it comfortably. However, this prosperity also brought to danger. When John was 10 years old, his father was killed in a robbery gone wrong, all because of his wealth. In the years that followed, John's mother often repeated phrases like big money, big problems, creating a deep-seated association in the John's mind: wealth equals danger. As John grew up, he found himself struggling financially. Despite having the skills and opportunities for success, he aspired to be wealthy and often used affirmations as "I am a money magnet" or "I am creating a life of abundance." However, deep down, his subconsciousness was in conflict. The belief that wealth leads to danger, a belief integrated by traumatic expressions and his mother's warnings, contradicted his affirmations. John started attending therapy and uncovered this conflict. He realized that his financial struggles were in part a form of self-sabotage, a protective mechanism triggered by his trauma. With his therapist's help, John worked to heal from his trauma and to change his belief systems about wealth. He started using affirmations like, "It's safe for me to be wealthy," and "I can be prosperous without endangering myself." Slowly, he began noticing changes in his attitude towards money, and his financial situation started to improve. This real-life story illustrates how unaddressed trauma and subconscious belief can act as barriers to our affirmation and goals. It emphasizes the importance of healing from trauma as a part of the journey towards self-improvement and achieving our aspirations. Remember, healing from trauma and shifting to our subconscious belief, it's not an overnight process. It can take time, efforts, and often some financials. But once you start this journey, affirmations can become an empowering tool in your self-improvement toolbox. So go ahead, affirm your worth, your dreams, your potential. Believe in the power of your spoken word. But most importantly, believe in yourself. Signing off.